If you are not aware, on this YouTube channel I've done quite a few different videos on DIY synthesizer history, focusing on the synthesizers that were built from magazines and kits and things like that from the 1960s all the way up to the 90s. And if you have a look at the playlist, you'll see that this doesn't even scratch the surface. There is a treasure trove of DIY magazine synthesizers out there. And at This Museum Is Not Obsolete, we are constantly trying to add to that collection for people to be able to come over to the museum and have a go on them. The most recent one that's come into the museum's collection was the Electronic and Music Maker Spectrum synthesizer from Greg. And I've got to be honest, it is possibly my favorite DIY synthesizer. It's definitely a more refined design from the mid-1980s. But all of the DIY synthesizers come in all different shapes and sizes, and some of them are very modular. For instance, the Digisound 80, this is a completely modular synthesizer. And not to mention the notable DIY synthesizer project that was covered in Elector magazine, the Formant synthesizer. I've done a few videos on the Formant synthesizer already, and in the most recent iteration I made a case for it that involved the internal patching. That's because it's not a fully modular synthesizer, it's actually semi-modular, meaning if there's no patch cables plugged in the front, then it actually still plays like a synth. Well, amazingly enough, for the last year or so, Erica Synths have been developing and redesigning a somewhat like-for-like version of the Formant synthesizer, using a heck of a lot of the original designs, as well as some improvements here and there, as well as new modules completely in the Formant format. Well, they got in touch because they wanted to donate one of the first test kits to This Museum's Not Obsolete, which was blooming awesome. But if you know anything about Formant synthesizers, you know there's quite a lot of soldering going on there. So we came up with an idea. We thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could make this whole Formant synthesizer in 24 hours. That's right, we planned a 24-hour Solderthon with the intention of getting all 27 modules built in the space of a full day. Gers and Jackie from Erica Synths came over to give us a hand with the project, but this video is documenting it.
So you have it like that, and you have another one here, remove that. You've got loads of space either side, and that just means you could have...
Yep, okay.
Cheers. How many have we got?
Soldering irons. These bad boys are the holders.
So after setting up the back room for some soldering, Jackie and Gertz turned up from Erica Synths to give us a hand. So they were getting through all of the kit. They pulled out the case. This is the case that comes with the kit. It's got the power supply. It's got all the bits of wood and the rails.
Hours, 1 hour, or 1 hour beginners.
Yeah.
And then is the 3 hours. The filters. We are organizing the 27 models, and these are the build material, all sorts sorted and organized per kit. And then we have here the front panel, so we can see who is making what and what is making who. And then we try to organize it by time and experience. Data sheets, all the data. The participants, they're coming here to solder the complete system. And
which
I
is
hope
roughly this big.
Imagine. And within 24 hours, we would have a system that either works or not works.
So we've got it arranged because we don't know the skill set of the people coming, and we want the most chance of it done quickly and working. So going to be arranging it with simpler projects down here, things like the mixer.
Yeah, divider.
LFO.
LFO is also comparably.
Oh yeah, that's very
wave
easy.
processor is comparably easy.
Yep.
At this point, it was 12 o'clock, it was lunchtime, and everybody was optimistic. It was time to place some bets.
No, your bet was that it'll be done by 3 a.m.
So I bet it's done by 3 a.m.
It's not done by 3 a.m.
Yeah, but what's your bet?
Oh, midnight on Sunday.
Midnight on Sunday.
Midnight on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
super.
Garrett, what do you think?
I say it's we plug it in and it works 8 p.m.
8 p.m. tonight.
Yes.
That is
8 p.m.
optimistic. My gosh.
8, we try, and we are optimistic it works. But I think it will be troubleshooting.
Yeah, troubleshooting.
And then I think it will be 10.
10 p.m.
I think before midnight
man.
we are done.
I think I'm being really pessimistic now. Actually, now you've all said that. But okay, so 8 p.m. fully working. That's fully working, right? Okay, that's so optimistic. Jay, we've got
10.
10 p.m. fully working.
Look, like, we have very skilled people on the list.
Sam,
Some.
3 a.m. Midnight Sunday. 48 hours away.
Just like every Saturday and Sunday, the museum opened at 1, but also the beginning of people who wanted to do the Solderthon turned up. It was Dax, Stuart, Jacko and Jay who all filled up the back table first.
Which one are you on?
VCO.
Oh, you're going for the VCO, going for the big boy.
Yeah.
On the VCO.
Yeah, both.
Nice.
Whilst that was going on, Gertz and Jackie got on with the case and the power supply.
It's like Dolphin style internal routing, so for gate and CD.
And do you use that, yeah?
Yeah.
I hope you're prepared for some flat pack furniture here, because this is what the case looks like. You're basically bolting bits to bits and screwing the rails in. To be honest, they made it look easy. It's almost as if they've built IKEA flat pack furniture before. The rails were lining up perfectly, but just to be sure, they used blank panels to make sure of that. Anyway, new people turned up and Rory had not soldered before.
It's super easy. It looks intimidating, but once you know what the components are, and then you just see the designator here, you can find it on here, and then it's literally like painted by numbers. Okay. You know, and you just plonk it in, solder it in, happy days. Okay, cool. And if you solder them all in the right place, it works. It does every time.
I decided to tackle the COM module first for myself. It was a bit of bad timing because I was still being asked a lot of things to do, like kind of picking up more solder, getting some water in this and that. And this, I think, ended up me making a few pretty big mistakes. I soldered one of the potentiometers in wrong and a switch in the wrong way round. No excuse, I'm just an incompetent buffoon!
Yeah, I'm nearly done then, yeah.
What have we got?
Not too much longer now.
So, you know, it's the first one. First one finished. How long has it taken?
Just about 5 p.m. So.
Oh, okay, so
4 hours.
4 hours, not bad. Nice, so it's the big test time. First finished module, VCLFO. Hey! Oh, we got one.
Got one. Is it just going very slowly?
Oh, there's a level.
Oh no.
Oh!
Really unfortunately, it didn't work first off. There was a couple of solder joints that Jacko needed to do. So this RFM by Sam was the first one to actually work and be finished.
Number 1. Done.
Here we are. I've got my one finished. Well, it's sort of finished. It's actually been a bit bodged at the back because I've been a bit of a pillock. I think it's Sam's influence has rubbed off on me. Certainly Mitch's has. But yeah, we'll see. Let's see if this one works.
The smoke test. Go on in, let's plug it into one of the ribbon cables.
Smoky, smoky.
Smoke test. Okay. Okay. I don't know what we should be testing for.
After Pete's, it was time to test mine, and as you can see, I'm the only one of the whole day to fail the smoke test. That is a fizzing capacitor because it was the wrong way round. Incompetence shined brightly for me today.
What have you made, Jay?
The VCLFO.
The VCLFO, and does it work?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
I'm Rory, this is the ADSR, and it's time for the smoke test.
Let's see if it goes up in smoke. Oh, okay.
It's a good sign.
Okay, maybe the LED is...
No, the LED, I think we just need to send a gate in.
Okay.
So if we plug that into the gate in, and if it lights up, no light,
No light.
no dice
Turn
yet.
the track down.
Might need to have a chat with Gert
Okay.
and mention that there's no light.
Yeah.
Fixing just a couple of dry solder joints, that was another one working and in the rack. After that, Sam came back with a fully built sequencer that worked perfectly, first time, yet again. That was 2 in a row from him.
Looks like it's done it. Very good. Awesome.
Now time for the first VCO by
Oscillator
Dax.
time.
And it works! Bing bong bango! So we got that going in the rack. It's coming along to the evening now, and the triple LFO is done, and we've got Vierler's filter.
Which one's this?
The VCF 24 dB.
24
Filter?
dB.
So the filter.
Nice one. So let's do the smoke test first. Okay, so both lights are on, so it's receiving it.
Okay.
Cool, good. Right, let's plug the output of it.
No.
No.
But what's missing?
We're pretty sure that works, but it just needs calibrating. I built an effects module, which is right here as well, but I put the switch on the wrong way around because I'm an idiot. Don't solder and multitask.
It's just gone midnight. Been doing the 24-hour Solderthon since 1 o'clock today. I'll show you the progress. It's all right. It's not bad. It's not bad. The museum's been open whilst it was going. So this is what the Formant looks like right now. Sequencer, 1 VCO, 1 voltage control filter, 24 dB, an RFM, which is 3 bandpass filters in a line, voltage controlled LFO, an LFO. So that's plenty of LFOs, but not much going on. This one's an effects. This one's really interesting. It's got an Erica Synths delay back module. It's really busy and stuff. It's a tap tempo, really long delay and reverb. Currently built this. I made a real mistake with the switch, so I've made 2 real serious mistakes today. But have you guys made any mistakes yet?
Made a couple, but we ironed them out.
You iron them out? Yeah, at least you fixed them. So which ones have you made? The Wave Proc?
Yeah, I made the Wave Pro.
That's is that a Wave folder or something?
So a Wave processor.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Waveform processor. That's what it says. You've got the divider over here.
Oh yeah, that sounded cool. Yeah, I saw that earlier.
And then the mixer. Yeah,
You got mixer. Awesome. Oh, what are you testing right now?
The envelope follower.
Envelope follower is
And
going.
ring modulation.
It's coming along all right. So this is the test station. There's an oscilloscope. It's only had to be used a couple of times. So that was mainly for calibration. Gertz is here and testing it all as and when it goes. Around here is a lot more folk doing things. So we got Ben here. You're on the 3rd VCO, right?
I am indeed.
So you've only just started, and Chris made one earlier. It took 6 hours. It was quite quick.
Yeah.
The Stu's still cracking through on the 2nd VCO. How's it going over there, Stu? How's it going? Yeah, it's going all right?
Yeah. I'm just getting a bit...
It's not far off. And what are you on, Jacko?
I don't even know at this point.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just following the silk screen.
It's been a long day, so as you can tell, but he's also put together this, but this is waiting to be troubleshot, but it might not be his fault, we don't think. You know, the thing is everybody's made a couple of mistakes, but we've all fixed our problems, so which is good. And then there's, ring modulator. What else we got? How are you doing? What you got? What's that one?
I have the ADSR.
ADSR?
Yeah, second one.
Second ADSR, yes. Oh, Toby, yeah, you've got... You're making your own?
Yeah,
Vostok.
Fuji.
Yeah, so you haven't not soldered before today, and now you've made 2 of your own funk DIY kits.
Being quite productive, hopefully.
Just having a look at this one, which has got a little bit of an intermittent problem.
Has it got an intermittent problem?
So it's probably just a solder joint somewhere.
Time for the 2nd VCO by Stuart, which also worked first time, which was great.
Just did a whole PCB of resistors without cutting the legs because I guess I'm just mentally ill like that.
It's 7 in the morning. But we almost made it, and I just wanted to prove you that we are a slightly step closer to the whole system. I think it might be nice here.
Very good. Gertz is putting all of the ribbon cables on the back and then putting the back of the synthesizer onto the back, plugging it in like this. It's a different way to what I was expecting, but it seems to be a very effective means of doing so. It's not quite done, but it doesn't mean we can't celebrate. So by about 8 o'clock in the morning, nearly everything was done. Ben was cracking on with the last of the voltage controlled oscillators. But because this was a production test batch, there was a couple of bits missing, including one of the circuit boards for the phaser module. Sadly, we couldn't finish the phaser, but Jay really wanted to see it working. So what he did was make a stripboard version to buffer the input and the output, so the backboard that had all of the phaser filters on would be able to work.
Go on then. Oh.
I was not expecting that to work.
That's amazing. Oh.
In order to get the Vactral banks to work, it's just a case of popping some LEDs on the stripboard and then a 1K resistor to a CV jack to be able to turn it on and off with an LFO, and boom!
Yeah, good idea. Awesome. Guys, what's going on? 102. What's that mean?
So yeah, I started building this module at midnight, and it's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it is now working.
So it's
which
taken.
means the synth is complete.
Synth is complete, and how long has it taken?
I'm bad at maths, so I don't know how to calculate.
24 hours and 2 minutes. Hey. Congratulations. Awesome.
There you go.
Well, hey.
So there we go. This is exactly how it was after 24 hours and 2 minutes. It still needs a fair bit of calibration. There's a couple of things that still don't work, that need a little bit of work. We're going to do that in another video, where we will also finish the phaser and then send the strip board over to Jay so they can use it for themselves. In hindsight, I wish I got everybody who made their modules to sign underneath all of the labels with a silver Sharpie. Blooming annoying, I forgot to do that. So if you did make these and pop over again at some point to the museum to use this, make sure you sign on the module that you've made. But yeah, without any further ado, let's plug it in and see what it does. Into the filter. Yeah, here we go. It's got a bit of a talkie now. So you will recognise quite a few of these modules from the original Formant because it's obviously a reissue pretty much. Like the VCOs, as far as I can tell, I haven't looked at the schematic, but they are very similar, almost exactly the same as the originals. Of course, the circuit board is different as the original goes all the way back. But with these ones, the circuit boards are flush with the panel, which make them a little bit more busy, which is a little bit of a challenge with a couple of these. For instance, the oscillators have standing up resistors, which add a tiny bit more time to actually putting them together compared to the flat resistors on the other ones. But once it's built, it ends up being very compact. In fact, it possibly can even be wall mount because it's about that wide. Around the back are a bunch of screw terminals because this is actually intended, much like the old original Formant, to be pre-patched. That means there are wires going from certain modules over to other modules on the inside, so you can in essence turn it on and play it without any patches being made on the front. This can result in a bit of a confusing situation at times, but it is true to the original Formant. The internal patching is not currently patched in here. That'll be in the next video on this Formant. Join the mailing list on Erica Synths if you want notifications on when these are actually going up. It might be a little while, I'm not sure how long, but going to be building the phaser again and also hopefully building a new VCA because sadly this VCA can't seem to get it to work, which is very unfortunate. But in that next video, we will calibrate a couple of things, fix a couple of things because there are a couple of niggles here and there, and rebuild these modules. Anyway, the bottom panel is largely based on the original synthesizer. You've got 3 voltage controlled oscillators, which would actually be pre-patched into the back of the voltage controlled filter right here. But like I said, it's not patched in, so you need to plug it into a mixer to go over to here. Unfortunately, right now, the 24 dB filter that Viola made, it seems to work, but it doesn't make much noise. We're assuming it needs to be calibrated. We'll do that in the next video. It is actually quite a lengthy process to calibrate this one in particular. But first, let's have a listen to one of the oscillators. It's got all of the waveforms like the old one. So we've got this, we've got a sine wave, we've got a triangle wave, we've got a ramp, oh, a bit of a noisy ramp, and we've got a funky ramp, and we've got a square wave. And you can of course mix them all together and then still adjust it. In fact, whilst we're here, let's get the pulse width modulation going with one of the LFOs. This triple LFO up here is based on the original Formant one. You'll see it looks the same as the original Formant, but next to it is actually a voltage controlled LFO. I'm assuming this is a Erica Synths design, possibly from one of their Eurorack modules. And plug in the original one now, just for the flavour. Get the input of that and then modulate it with one of the other LFOs. Some of the internal patching is actually done with the power strip at the back. You'll notice that that is a Eurorack power strip, so it has gate and CV on it like the dope for modules and stuff. So that means this MIDI interface over here automatically controls the oscillators. So if we actually plug this in, and we can turn it off with this switch, which means it will listen to external CV via this input, so you can flick between external CV. But you can have both at the same time if you plug it into the frequency modulation. Whilst we're here, let's plug it through the filter that we know fully works, which is the 12 decibel filter. So the MIDI interface was built by Jacko, and then we're plugging it into this oscillator, which I think was built by Chris. And now we're plugging it through this filter, which I made actually. Yeah, I made this one and it doesn't work. There we go. We definitely know I made this one then. Why isn't it all working? Oh, that's why. Now let's involve a non-standard Formant module, that is the divider. I think it was either built by Ralph or Oscar. We're going to plug it through that. So the output of the oscillator into the divider, which is going to divide it down. We can actually start bringing in some of the lower octaves. That's looking good. Sounds pretty cool. So we're going to get the output of the divider now popping into the mixer, and then we're going to plug in the mixer output, which sounds exactly the same until we plug another of the oscillators in. This one I think was built by Stuart, so we're going to pop that in. So here we go, and let's get that going. Get it a bit fatter now. Now we're going to get the output of the other oscillator as well, which was built by Ben. I'm going to plug it into the mixer as well. With this one, we're actually going to get the voltage input and actually plug it into the output of the sequencer. The sequencer is non-standard. This was built by Sam. It worked first time. In fact, Sam was very quick at making them. He built this one and then disappeared before anybody even finished a module. So very quick, pretty awesome. So let's plug that in, see what it sounds like. what we're going to do is we're going to get it going through the effects module. This thing right here. This is another non-standard module. It is a really nice reverb or delay the output of the effects into the input of the COM module, which is another original Formant design. And it's got panning left and right, but it's not voltage controlled. But you also have an equalizer, treble, mid, bass. Anyway, let's get the reverb going for a bit of va-va-voom. We can, for instance, modulate the time CV of the effect. Make it a little subtle, make it a bit more moving. And we're going to trigger an envelope generator, which is a standard design as well. So we've got that going in. So now we're triggering that. We're going to get it flashing here. So we've got we're going to plug that into the control voltage input of the filter. So let's see if we can get a bit of percussion coming out of here as well. So we're going to get a clock output of the sequencer and plug it into the envelope generator, the other envelope generator. Get the output of that envelope generator into the VCA, output of the noise, and plug that into the external signal input of the voltage controlled amplifier, and plug the output of the voltage controlled amplifier now into the COM input, which should, there we go. Instead of plugging it straight into that VCA, let's plug it into a mixer. Also from that mixer, get the output of the sample and hold. Then we get the random voltage from the noise and plug that into the input of the sample and hold. But also plug the output of the ADSR that's doing a and plug that into the sample and hold. And then of course get the output of that mixer and plug it into the VCA. Now we got random, which gives us a bit of a drum beat actually. Now to get it quickly synced up to get a bit of a beat, we're going to plug the clock output from Cosmo into the clock input of the sequencer. That means when we press play on here, this will start moving. And that means we'll be able to program a drum beat. that's where we're at on Erica Synths' modern take of the Formant. Nothing about it is out yet. There will be more information to come. I suggest you follow Erica Synths on their socials and stuff like that. Who won the bet? Well, Johnny seems to think he has, because technically it still isn't done, and his was the last of the bets, so maybe I owe him a fiver. I've made a bunch of samples and sounds from this Formant, as well as some decent sampler VST sample instruments of this. They are all available over on Patreon. There's some funky bass sounds from this that you can play on a Windows computer, a Mac computer, or an iPad. You don't even need some music software. You just download Decent Sampler and just load the presets that you download on Patreon onto there, and you'll be able to play this for yourself. Needless to say, Patreon massively helps to support these regular videos, as well as keeping the museum's lights on. So if you want to support and see a load more stuff, then go and check it out over there. Anyway, I want to thank everybody that got involved in this, and if you want to come and play on it, well, you can. Just come to This Museum's Not Obsolete. Anyway, I'm Luke Mum No Computer. This is the Erica Synths Formant. Have a lovely time and don't be scared to try it.